There we go.
And we're live.
Hey, everybody. How are y'all? How are you?
How you doing, Mr. Charlie?
I'm awesome, brother. I'm awesome.
Good.
Dude, we were giving Mr. Chapman like some serious props yesterday. Just like his excitement and enthusiasm for what he does.
Get your ass over here, Chapman. Look it. I got him videoing me right now. Look it. You're giving your props, bro.
I love this guy.
Yes.
We were talking about you on a live.
Yes.
That you'll see. It gets dropped tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
So this dude is awesome.
Yes.
Like that. You can't ever let that guy go.
No.
Listen.
I appreciate you guys.
He actually should be like part ownership, I think, at this point.
Okay.
Persistence.
All right.
Persistence calls me. Mr. Persistence calls me and says, "Can you have that guy stop calling me?"
Oh no, I love it.
No,
Chapman came to me. I was doing a project for a client. I helped him open up an office because I do a lot of sales consulting for companies. And I helped this guy open an office from scratch. And roofing guy, the guy's a trainer in the roofing space, one of my clients. And Chapman comes in and applies for the position. And I said, "Well, dude, I don't know, whatever." I said, "Well, I'll get back with you."
Yeah.
2 hours later, he calls me. "Have you made a decision yet?" I go, "Dude, you just left. Like, take it easy." I said, give me a couple days. I'm interviewing more people. Next day, he calls me. After like the fourth or fifth time, I go, "Dude, just come on in. Let's get you signed up." And then from there, I got him involved in another company that I'm involved in. He did a 4-year stretch at that company, and then when I opened up One Tap Connect, he called me and he's like, "Listen, I want to come on board. What do I need to do?" And I'm like, "You don't need to do nothing. Just get down here and let's rock and roll." So thank you for saying that.
Yeah. No, he's
a rock star for sure.
He is. He absolutely is.
Your whole team is pretty awesome.
Yeah. I second that.
Like the whole business concept is mind blowing.
Yes.
In itself. But your team like takes it to the next level.
Honestly.
Well, I've been fortunate enough, I'm not a youngster. I've been around the block. I've jumped into a lot of different businesses during the course of my life. I've been in home improvement. I had my own design company. I've done, various projects on the Las Vegas Strip and been in the automotive space. Long story short, culture is important. So leadership starts at the top. And, as you both know, as we were talking before the call, right? We're getting ready to go live, and you're like, "Hey, have you ever thought of doing your own podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, one more thing.
One more thing to do, right?"
I'm trying to keep what hair I have left on my head, right? But that's what it's all about. Your ability to lead. I tell my son this, who's 21, going to be 22 here shortly. Business is the ability to handle pressure, number one. And number two, you have to lead from the top and treat people correctly. And when they know that you're coming from a place of good intention and it's not just a job, I think that's where you get buy-in, and you as a business owner, right? You're an entity that really should take on a life of its own. It shouldn't be about you, but your entity, right? So I'm on this podcast, which is awesome, great.
Absolutely.
I love it, but I don't take lightly what you just said. That is and I say this sincerely, that's a bigger compliment to me than even just being on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because people read through stuff. It's like when people tell you your kids are good kids.
Right. That's great.
I'm
glad to see that, but
yeah, so that's not the kid that I pick up that gets in the car after school. Because the kid that you got is not the same kid that I got. So I'd like to reevaluate your statement.
They come around. They come around. Yes, they do. Persistence and consistency, right?
Yes, through all things.
So tell us about your automotive industry a little bit.
Well, back in, man, now you're going to date me. This was going back to like 1994, 95, when Infinities just came on the market. I went in to buy a new Infinity, and the sales guy I was working with kept coming to me. Those of you in the automotive space, right? They call it the pencil. Well, the car is X, and like, no, dude, I'm not paying that. Well, how much do you want to put down? Long story short, after about, an hour and 15 minutes of going back and forth, the general manager came out. His name is Alex Este. And he said, man, I don't know who you are or what you do. He goes, but you're running my guy around and playing him like a violin. He goes, like, you do. So I've been in sales all my life, and I love sales. He goes, you ever thought of selling cars? And I said, well, honestly, I'm in between gigs right now. I said, but no, I go, there's not enough money in the car business for me. Now, mind you, I knew nothing about the car business other than I went in to buy them, right? I don't know the car business. And he points to the guy and he goes, well, that guy just made 150 grand and he comes to work in a suit every day, just like what you have on right now. And I'm like, really? Selling cars, I can make 150 grand. So I agreed to jump on board. I started selling Infinities, and my first month I sold like 18 or 20 cars, and I didn't know any better. But evidently, right? The GM's coming up to me. He's like, "Dude, you're meant for this business." And every month it was between me and another guy that had been there or been in the car business for in excess of like 5 or 6 years, but loved the business, phenomenal business. But my fiance at the time said to me after about a year and a half of 2 years being in that business, she said, listen, if we're going to get married and you're going to stay in the car business, she goes, we're not getting married. So, because I used to go in at 7, 8 in the morning, tell her I'd be home at 5. And I don't know if you're familiar with the car business, but if someone
you never know when you're going to get home if you're closing a deal.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
so,
who typically buys cars like
in the morning
or midday? Like, you buy cars when you're off work, and you're only buying a car if you got a job. So you're buying a car from 5 to whenever.
Right.
Yep.
So anyway, I would never walk away from a deal. And long story short, she has now been my wife for 28 years, but I exited the car business. But coincidentally, now I'm back in the car business because I have a lot of clients that are in the space that we now serve, and I certainly can speak to it and know their pains and their objectives, and I love the space. Great business.
Makes sense.
I'm sure it's just also a different space as well. Just still in the car business, but a completely different space.
No question.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into Charlie and One Tap.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll your YouTube video for everybody to watch, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, let's entertain some questions. This is pretty exciting. Oh,
Make sure I have the right one.
There you go.
So let's do this.
Imagine being able to brand, position, and differentiate yourself at the first point of contact to ultimately increase your customer acquisition. Well, that's what One Tap Connect is all about. Simply tap someone's phone with your One Tap Connect smart card and instantly transfer who you are, what you do, and what problems you help people solve. Your phone number, email, all of your social media like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram will immediately be transferred to them front and center. One Tap Connect allows you to build relationships on the spot by delivering your truth, your authenticity, and proof. It allows you to connect with high-level prospects, convey your marketing message, and ultimately have a conversation that converts. You can deliver videos about your company, client testimonials, before and after shots of your products and services, as well as send links to any Yelp reviews or websites. One Tap Connect even gives you the ability to procure your prospect's cell phone number and is an incredible tool to get referrals on the spot. Let's face it, the paper business card is dead, and One Tap Connect is the last business card you'll ever need to immediately deliver your information to an iPhone or Android, and it's all with just one tap.
So I have personally had this card for almost a year now, and I love it. And there's not a person that I don't run across that I don't use it.
Yeah.
Honestly, because it does so much for me in such a minute amount of time. It's the most coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
So it's literally you tap it on your phone, and it gets me excited talking about it because of how cool it is.
Yes.
You tap it on your phone and you get a microsite of your website.
Yep.
In the background.
Yep.
Whenever you scroll through it.
Yep.
They get your contact information. Not only do they get your contact information, they get your phone number, your email, all of your social media pages, so they can follow you everywhere on your social media platforms.
Right.
Plus, they get a full description of exactly who you are, what you are, and where you're at.
Right. So, like what I just did. So we've got a little kid. We have 5 kids. So, and we've got one whose birthday party's coming up. I legit put the QR code to my Tap One card for all the moms to RSVP because I was like, free business drop. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, like that's how I use it. And then I also like I'm on the 2 PTO boards. And so like when you interact with all these, volunteers or whatever, it's so nice just to be able like I don't have to be like, "Oh, here's my information or give me your number, whatever." Like I'm dropping all my business information on them
all at
one time. Like if you're a mom, you need this card.
And for us, it's kind of overwhelming to give our information out because it's like, okay, well, what do you want to talk about? Because we have 4 or 5 different things going on.
Right.
And a lot of people know that about us. But whenever they're talking about, hey, I want to go on your podcast. Which one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And every one of them does something different.
Yes.
And we talk about something different. We're still us.
Yes.
On every podcast, but the dynamic of every podcast changes.
Well, yeah, every agenda is different, right? Yeah. And I love that, like, just the ease of like, you've got to think outside of the box. So what I love about it, and I challenged Chapman at one of the events that we ran into him at, I was like, hey, everybody's doing a business card giveaway.
Yeah.
What's your solution? And he was like super quick on the fly. And he was like, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a QR code and everybody's going to scan that QR code that walks by your booth. And then you're going to make them your data entry person and they're going to put in their information. And I was like, dude, that's genius because then you're not going back to the office and wasting time data entering everything.
Yeah.
And then what if you misspell somebody's email address? That's just gone.
Chapman's on the spot.
Yeah, he is.
He's like, boom, got an answer.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes. But no, I love the solutions of this card. Like, think about like realtors who can use this. Think about like, there's just
it's endless.
It's endless. Like even like I said, the mom component for me, I use it for play dates. I use it for marketing. I mean, there's like if you exist as a human, you need a business card.
I mean, I use it even for the coaches at the baseball field. Like, here's my information. Save it in your phone.
Yeah,
boom, done.
Exactly.
I'm not even picking up my phone anymore to share my contact out of my phone. I grab the card and boom, because it's so cool.
It is.
And I like to show it off.
Yes.
Like I enjoy showing it off.
Right. And so here's another component
because it makes me look like I'm way up here and it makes me look
everybody like a TBA. Like
everybody asked me, did you build this? I'm like, no, I wish I did.
Right.
But no, I did not.
Yeah.
And here's the person that you need to go to because I know you want one now.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. No, I love it. And I love too, because we were just looking at the shop yesterday. They've added a couple different products besides the card itself. What there's
the wristbands and the keychains. And
there's like a little
sticky
circle for your back of your phone.
Yeah, or your wallet or everybody carries little slim wallets.
And so that's like me. Like I want to get the circle thing for my phone. I think that would make more sense for me. But yeah. I'm excited. I just there's just everybody needs this. And to that, like if you are like the little YouTube video, like anybody can film a little short clip of like who you are. Hey, I'm so and so's mom. If you're a mom in the car, like that's what I'm getting at. Is it's like it's so great to have this and just have it. Like share. We're such a networked community. It just makes sense.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
Anymore. It just makes it so easy when you go out in public. It doesn't matter where you're at. You can be at a restaurant. Somebody walks up to you and they've seen us on a YouTube channel or they've seen you on a Facebook group or whatever it is you do. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner or if you're a baseball coach or if you're just a YouTuber. It doesn't really matter who or what you are. You really need this card.
Honestly. He's just sitting there. He's like,
Yeah, he's just gonna let us talk.
He built such an amazing product.
He did.
He really, really did. And like, honestly, I probably, like, for me being a mom, I use mine more.
He's gonna take a nap.
I know, right? I use mine more as a mom than I do business, but you honestly pitched this card so much. And so when I heard that you got him on the hook to do a podcast with us, not that he's spoken much yet, but like, I was so excited.
I'm stoked to have him here.
No.
Now, the reason I'm being quiet is because I can't make it up.
No.
That's what it's been designed to do, is to have immediate impact and influence when you meet somebody, right? There's organic opportunities that are out there every day. To your point, you're at your kid's ball game, you're at a birthday party. And that's what I found a lot of people miss.
Yeah.
They'll be like, well,
I don't have a card on me.
I don't have a card, which when I'm out doing business with people and people tell me that, because my entire life, I'm a card guy up until designing One Tap Connect, right? I'm a card guy and I'm a networking person. But when someone says I don't have a card, a big question mark goes off in my brain that says you're not serious about your business.
Right.
Now, you might say, well, no, we exchange information. I just have them go to my LinkedIn. No. Don't tell yourself truthful lies. And what I mean by that is that's a truthful lie that you're telling yourself because you're not hearing the unspoken objection on that first impression you made with a prospect, where had you presented yourself correctly at the first point of contact, you could have started a conversation that ultimately converted into a deal.
Yes. Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah. And then the other part too is I love that you get their actual phone number for texting. That's a huge thing right now, is being able to text people and getting that text message from them, or even just having that availability. And so that's the component that I love. And I'm not a LinkedIn person. Like, I don't live in the LinkedIn world. I probably should, but I just don't. So I love that it's the whole text message thing. Like, I live in the text message, creating virtual content type stuff. And to me, it just speaks more to where I'm living.
Yeah.
Well, think about this. Would you rather, I ask people this question, would you rather lose your wallet or would you rather lose your phone?
I could lose my wallet. All of my wallets right here. Like, everything is my Apple wallet.
Well, there's like a 4-second pause. You're actually thinking about that, going, well, wait a minute, which one would I rather lose? And if I asked you that question 10 years ago, you would be like, damn, no, I don't want to lose my wallet. Right? No, you don't want to lose your phone. It's everything. You're connected to the hip. So to your point, that's really the key. Is the phone, we're so dependent on it. It's like an addiction. And when you can tap somebody's phone,
it's not like an addiction. It is an addiction.
Download all of your information immediately.
Yep.
And then you haven't hit a connect button that sends you a text. And now you got their name, their company name, and their cell number. If you're prospecting that person, or you're just looking to build a relationship with them, you don't need anything else. I don't need your LinkedIn. I don't need your Facebook. I don't need your office number or your assistant's email.
No.
I'm going direct to source.
Yep.
And if there's a conversation to be had there and we're going to engage, let's do it at the first point of contact.
Yes.
And let's not waste each other's time.
Right. Because how many people on LinkedIn who are putting those barriers to communication up are putting their actual direct cell phone number up on LinkedIn? Nobody's doing that. Let's be honest. Like, you open a business and you immediately start putting up barriers of communication for people to not reach you. You want to scan and filter all of those phone calls that are coming in. Like, let's be honest about what's going on, because I've been in that position. Like, I don't want to talk to every salesperson that calls. So this is actually like, you're completely bypassing that filter process by building that connection immediately by going, hey, look, I'm a genuine person and I would just love for you to have my information.
Yeah, no question. And what the tool also allows you to do, and we encompass a whole online training with this, by the way, not that it's rocket science, but when we go out and sell this to companies, we want engagement. We want people to use our product. We don't want somebody to buy. So we don't want breakage, right? We want people out there networking and tapping and getting more leads and closing more deals. So when we bring this to a company that buys, 10 or 12, or we just did a deal, a company bought 300 of them.
Yeah.
We have a whole onboarding to take people through step by step how to use it, because it's also used as a tool to sort, sift, and separate a prospect from a suspect. How many times do you grab somebody's card? And I don't even have cards here anymore, right? But you hand somebody a card and you're like, oh, I'll call you. So now you're calling that person for weeks, and you're emailing them and you're texting them and you're sending them freaking notes or whatever, only to find out that they just moved into a brand new home and they don't need a remodel on their bathroom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of salespeople chase ghosts. So this has been designed, Jen, to where, right, 60, 90 seconds, you tap somebody's phone, you get to make your micro presentation. And if you're a prospect in need of a new bathroom, you're going to say, oh man, yeah, I would love to connect. Great. Hit the connect button. Give me your information. And then we actually put a book me button on there, if you want us to, where you can book an appointment with me or, with that prospect on the spot. Why is that important? What have we been trained? Get somebody's card, call them tomorrow. You're not going to reach them, so chase them for a week, only to get them to respond to say they're not interested. Well, now, boom, you say hello, you tap their phone, 90 seconds, you've built rapport and gained credibility. And now you're booking the appointment, if they're a prospect, on the spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
plus you have all of their social media information. So you're not just stopping at the phone.
Right.
Or a text.
Yeah.
You now are reaching them on social media.
Right.
You're connecting there. They're now seeing you.
Yes.
They're visible to you and your brand.
Yep.
You're connecting on that level too.
Yeah.
So you're constantly going to see each other passing, even in that stance.
Yeah.
So what I like to do is I like the door knockers that come to my door, and Jen won't answer.
You'll talk to
Jen won't answer the door, but I'll answer the door with that card.
Yeah, you will.
And I reverse pitch them.
You do.
Every time.
You do. Every time.
Every single time a door knocker comes, I love it. They'll knock on the door. I'll be like, I'll be right there. Give me 1 second.
I just put batteries in the doorbell because the doorbell died, and I used to record your conversations through the doorbell. So I'm really, because it's getting to be that season again where they start, because it's just been too hot. It's been 117 here in Texas, so it's just been too dang hot. So it's starting to get that season again. So I'm looking forward to being like, maybe we'll use that for content for One Tap Connect, another one pitched at the door.
But honestly, I do. I reverse pitch them. And then I'm like, do you have a card on you? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, here, let me give you my information. And it blows their mind.
Yeah.
They're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if you want to learn more about this,
book a call.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just hit the nail on the head, right? I mean, this could make a very smart person or a seasoned sales professional immediately elevate their game, right? So on a scale from 1 to 10, they're a 10. Now you become an 11. Why? Because when you tap somebody's phone and that pops up and you get to make your micro presentation, if you're talking to a high level person, their respect level for you, that guard gen that you were talking about, how it comes down, right? Yeah. That's the key, right? It allows the door to open to build trust and rapport so you can start a conversation. Now, what it also does, let's say you're the worst salesperson on the planet. You tap somebody's phone, everything pops up. Even if you're terrible, the client knows how to paint by numbers.
Yes.
Right now, it's popping up and you're saying, hey, this is my XYZ microsite. This has been designed to help me brand position and differentiate myself as the best remodeling company in Plano. Everything about us is right here. There's our LinkedIn, our Facebook, scroll down, there's our video.
Yeah.
There's our testimonial. So the more I'm involved with this, and I started this journey, by the way, in 2017.
Wow.
2017,
That's a big dedication.
somebody approached me to give him 50 grand for 50% of this digital card technology that they had. And I almost did it, but I didn't like it. Something was missing. So I passed, but I was intrigued by the concept. And then I bought a bunch of stuff off the shelf. And there's a ton of digital card companies out there.
Yes, there are.
There are.
There's
nothing like this one.
There's nothing like this one that flows like this one, that works like this one, that even presents itself like this one. There are other options out there, but if there are other options out there and we are still getting the shock and awe, like a shock grenade just went off when you tap that card,
I would have bought it already.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
It doesn't exist.
It does. It's this.
I mean, but it doesn't exist other than this.
No, it doesn't. This is it. This is the only one who has, like, it just looks and feels just good to use. It's visually appealing. And if people with legit no phone experience can use it, you know it's worth something.
Absolutely. So, like, I'll go back to the door knockers, but I'm going to go to the door knockers because this happens way too often in business. People don't pour enough into the door knockers, and the door knockers for roofers or for windows or for whatever it is, for whatever trade it is.
We actually had a PDR guy come by the other day while you weren't home. So now they're actually following, the PDR guys are following behind the roofers and knocking on doors. They're, instead of waiting for the insurance claims to come through on vehicles, they're actually coming to your home now. And I was shocked. That's the very first time I had ever seen that.
Yeah. So but the door knockers, whenever they're coming up, if one, they don't have a business card sometimes. Two, if they do have a business card, they have a generic one. It's paper, and then they have to write their name on it because the company hasn't poured into them.
I hate that for them. Yeah.
Or they're new and they haven't got their card in yet, right? Or whatever.
I think that's the excuse, that they're new and haven't got their card in yet. I think it's that the company's like, we're gonna burn through this guy. We know it. This is what you get.
So that's the cool thing about One Tap. There is a lot of turnover in the sales game. Well, one of the reasons why there's turnover is because you're not giving your people the right tools and you're not giving people the right training.
Right.
So One Tap is not only the right tool to help that individual brand position and differentiate themselves in the eye of the prospect,
the consumer.
Yeah.
It also gives the new green pea confidence and certainty that if they knock the door and they tap somebody's phone and they're not sure exactly what to say, even if they get the attention of that new person, they can click on their One Tap, scroll down, and now the CEO of the company can pop up and make the virtual sales presentation.
That's awesome.
It's already done.
Yeah.
I had a client call me the other day, Drew Davis Roofing. I think he's out of Texas. He called me because he wanted to change something on his One Tap. And as I'm talking to him, I said to him, how do you like the tool? He said, dude, this is the absolute best thing I've ever purchased for my business. So now I got him on speaker and I'm walking out to my team and I'm like, say it again, Drew Davis, say it again. He's like, no, I'm not joking. He goes, I go run a lead. He goes, first thing I do is knock on the person's door, introduce myself. He goes, I put it on their phone because we could actually put this on people's phones so it sits like an app.
Right.
I hit video. I tell them, watch my video. I go up on the roof. He goes, and while I'm up on the roof, they're teching out. In other words, they're looking at my tech going, this is incredible. He goes, by the time I come down and give them a proposal, he goes, trust and rapport, all that's
already
built. He goes, and they say, okay, great. So the guy that came in before me is done, and they don't even want to see the guy after them because I helped them connect the dots. So
it's a huge tool, man. Like, it's just ginormous. Just in a tap. It's just a tap away.
Well, and here's the thing, getting back to what you were initially talking about, the other digital cards. We're really not a digital card. We don't just have our customers hit a button and then they fill out a form, right? It's a form, and we have people here that are our designers
and
that go through that and customize it to tell your story, right? So again, there's a format in which we use, but if somebody doesn't want this integrated into their CRM, right? We have a form that we can make where it'll dump information into your CRM. Well, then we don't put that on there, but some people do. Some people have 6, 7, 8 different services. Well, great. We can line item where we could link right in to those different services. But all that being said, what I really want everybody to know is the reason why these other digital cards don't do what we do is I'm not a tech guy, right? These other companies got money from Silicon Valley, and they're tech guys. They've never knocked the door, ran a lead, or made a cold call in their life.
They're not sales guys.
I developed this after using all of them. And I even had friends of mine that were programmers and coders that they would make me what they thought their version of what I wanted should be.
Right.
But finally, one night, I'm kind of frustrated at the kitchen table, and as only a wife can do, she looks at me and she goes, "You're being stupid." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "You need to stop being stupid." I'm like, "Babe, what are you talking about?" She goes, "You know what you're doing. You've been selling all your life. You know what you want. Why don't you just make it yourself based around your sales process?" And I'm like, "You know what? You're right." So, 6 years later, actually, of trial and error and dealing with different people trying to help me get there, I finally just said, I'm going to build it around a sales process, and it works and it converts. And we've had, I've got several people, one of which is a roofer by the name of Brian Arnold out of South Carolina. He bought 12 of these for his all the people on his sales team. 2 months after he bought, it was like 5 a.m. my time. I'm in Vegas. He's in South Carolina. He calls me. He goes, "Dude, I just blew you up on Facebook." I'm like, "Really? What's up?" He goes, "I sponsored this property management wine and cheese gathering for the local property managers association." He goes, "It cost me $5,000. He goes, "I went in there and I one-tapped everybody." He goes, "I left thinking, man, that was some expensive wine and cheese."
Yeah.
He goes, "A guy just called me today in Georgia." I go, "Really, Georgia?" He goes, "Yeah." I said to the guy, "How'd you hear about me?" He said, "I was at that wine and cheese party. You tapped my phone." He goes, "And your icon, your app is right on my phone." He goes, "And you were the first guy I called." He said, "I have 400 doors under a roof, and I need you to come down and give me a proposal." He closed a $950,000 deal because, I don't know if you could see that, right? They're right there. But
yep.
Right? Put his one tap on the guy's phone. Guy called him. So, and that's just one of, many non-fictional stories that we've been able to procure with our clients having success from it. So, yeah, there's so many different ways to use it, but it becomes a training tool, a confidence tool, and a certainty tool for your sales team as well. And it also helps you as the business owner with your brand message, right? That consistency. So when they do go knock the door, they're properly representing your brand, and they're staying consistent with your marketing message, and really not veering off or promising the customer something that you don't want the customer to be promised, right? Making a false claim or expectation, because everything is right there in the palm of that prospect's hand.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. All I can tell everyone is go get one. Like, there's really not any other call to action other than, if you don't have one, you need to have one. It tells you everything about you. I don't care even if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're answering the door to somebody, you could become an affiliate of this one tap card, and you could be selling this just by tapping your information, giving it to whoever is coming to your door, sharing your personal information of even about yourself or your home. You could use it that way, and by tapping it on that door knocker's phone, it automatically puts you in a position for as an affiliate to pitch a company, and now you're selling Charlie's product for him.
No, their product.
Yes, it's their product as well. But there's so many endless possibilities with this, and I love it. I love the fact that there is not a friction point in the process of setup. There's not a friction point anywhere in this business that you've built.
I just had a chiropractor, associate. He's become a friend because I believe personally that when you're out there prospecting for customers or clients, what's the difference between a customer and a client? A customer is transactional.
Yes.
Right. I consider a customer, you walking into the corner store and you're going to buy a cup of coffee or a 6-pack of beer or whatever it is. And they say, hey man, good to see you. Have a good day. And you walk out the door and you're done. That's a transaction. A client to me is somebody that you go in and you advise, you coach, you mentor, and you build a relationship with. So my goal when I go out into the world is to take a prospect, turn them into a client, right? Convert them into a client, and then with good intention, leverage that relationship, right? To get repeat and referral business, and then retain them long term. So ultimate goal, I want you to become a client, which you started out as my client, correct?
Correct.
Right? Now you become an advocate. You are now an advocate of One Tap Connect, Chapman, Charlie Cina. But more importantly, once we get to this point where you've thought enough of me to give me more than your money for my product, you're now exposing me to your audience, your contacts.
Absolutely.
Right? That's huge, right? What does that speak to? That speaks to truth, authenticity, and proof. That speaks to trust, confidence, certainty, and everything else that goes into that word that we call a relationship with, right? And why is it called a relationship? Because it's a relay. It's a relay of value. I'm going to give you value. You're going to relay it back to me. So all that being said, that's the real key, and that's what the tool helps you do at hello and at the first point of contact. And I can't tell you, not only is our relationship living proof of how the relationship started,
sure,
but I have a client, getting back to him, chiropractor, buys my product. He says, I can probably sell this to a lot of chiropractors. I said, okay, great. Becomes an affiliate. He spoke at an event where for whatever reason, I don't know how there was the fit, but he's also a consultant, knows business, knows how to scale businesses above and beyond his chiropractic practice. He speaks to a group of mortgage brokers. He puts his QR code up when he's speaking. They take a picture of his One Tap. They all connect with him from the audience. The founder of the company says, where'd you get that? He refers them to me. The guy buys 50 of them. I sent him a check for $1,650. He goes, I just got a check from you for $1,650. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're an affiliate. You referred me to so-and-so, right? That guy bought. You would have thought I sent the guy $1 million, and the guy's got millions of dollars. I mean, he's well off.
Right. It was just ecstatic in the fact that you recognized it, appreciated it, and gave back into it, poured back into it.
But more importantly, what he said back to me is, I appreciate the mailbox money and the love. He goes, but what you did for my client, they love it so much, it's resonating. You make me look way more than, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's the beauty of it. And I've never been in a business, Jason, where every day, I can pull up my phone right now. Every day, as soon as somebody gets it, they start using it. We get texts and emails and phone calls, and shoot, at Christmas time, I had more freaking cakes and cookies and baskets,
Right.
that I could shake a stick at. And I go home and I go to my wife, here, this is from. She goes, where's that from? I don't even know the guy, right? He just bought online, or watched the video on YouTube, or saw me at a conference, went back and bought online. And, I'm reaching back out to him to thank him. And people are just touched by what an impact, the tool makes. So it was really a labor of love for me. I never intended on thinking I'd be on a podcast, 2-3 years later, talking about a company called One Tap Connect, but here we are.
Sure. Well, thank God you listened to your wife.
And now I'm not so stupid anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure she appreciates it.
Now, we've been together 28 years. And it's sometimes, there's somebody told me once, you can tell the measure of a man by the woman that he's with.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, okay. And I was young when I was told that. And, in our 28 years of now growing together and having 2 kids and going through highs and lows, nothing better than having a great relationship and a great spouse that has your back and will look at you and tell you when you're being stupid, and then tell you, that they're proud of you when you're hitting a home run. So
it's very important to have that foundation in your relationships.
No question.
And that foundation is also in this business that you've built. Like, we talk about foundation. So we also have a personal podcast that you might want to go check out. Some of it's some raunchy stuff, but it's our real life stuff. It's called Everyday Moments for Us. And we're not on that channel right now.
No.
But we talk about a lot of foundational stuff, relationship based stuff. And hell, I'll let Jen speak on it for a minute.
Yeah. So we started it. So we both come from very, very dynamic backgrounds. I'm a domestic violence survivor. I'm also a military veteran, which is why I think I stuck around in that abusive relationship as long as I did. And really, we even talk about like all the therapies and stuff we've been through, and like hindsight's 2020, and just trying to share the nuggets of information that took us 18 years to get, and what it truly takes to build a relationship and what you should look for in a really healthy relationship. Because a lot of times, and at least, and I know from my instance that we talk about on that podcast, is that we took that relationship because it was an out. So are you taking jobs because it's an out? Are you like, what else are you doing that with that coping mechanism with? And so it's really just a reality check of like what's going on, how to deal with it, our thought process. And then 2, we relate a lot of stuff to just construction related stuff.
We do, because that's our life.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it's part of our life and part of our process, right?
Yeah.
But so that Charlie, because you haven't seen that podcast, during the day, this is our life.
Mm-hmm.
And our other businesses are our life during the day. And then we have a portion of family time
Mm-hmm.
that we spend with our family. And when the kids go to bed, honestly, we stay up until 2 or 3 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
every morning. And then we'll come in here at starting around 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our therapy session at nighttime. That's when we record our stuff on the Everyday Moments channel. And it's real raw. There's no preconceived thought process. We just literally come in here and spill out to each other and have our conversations in front of the world, because we really don't have anything to hide from one another.
Mm-mm.
We've built our relationship based off of a very strong foundation. We set a lot of things up on the front side.
Yes.
And we carry such high respect for each other that we can literally sit in here and talk for hours.
Mm-hmm.
and just talk to each other. And I don't think enough relationships have that capability, nor do they spend the time in that.
No.
And I know that we're completely off topic, but
foundations being the common core, whether for any relationship, starting business, starting personal, starting anything, foundation is the component of all of it and is the starting point of all of it. So if you're building a great foundation with here's my contact information and here's my direct point of contact information with one tap, why not?
Yes.
And then to that, like, what if that's like your date? Like, cool.
And so one of the cards actually that they're working on for us right now is the Jennifer Clements,
yes,
which has cross-branded all three of our brands.
Yes.
Construction Solutions Group, the Jennifer Clements, and Everyday Moments on it. So it's going, I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Because of the cross branding that it's going to do. I'm so excited that like I'm sitting here waiting.
Yeah.
Like I just can't wait for it to freaking get here.
So I want, and I don't think Charlie knows how we actually happened upon this card. So we were in Florida for the convention, and
the Win the Storm.
We were there for Win the Storm.
I don't know were you there at Win the Storm?
I think
I was there.
Yeah, that's okay. So he was there for Win the Storm, but we left our office to get on our flights, and we were 45 minutes from the office, and we both looked at each other and went, I didn't grab a damn business card, did you?
Well, we had the boxes sitting by the door.
We did.
Like we had 2 cartons of cards sitting by the door.
Yes. And it was like,
we were literally pulling up to the airport going, shit. And then we called the office and we were like, I need you to overnight these to the hotel now.
Yeah. So they overnighted them.
At that time, we were launching an app.
Yes.
We were launching League of Contractors app.
Yeah.
And we went there to go rep our app.
We did.
And we wanted to do it to the best of our ability. And thank God the first day that we went into into the convention, and this is not our first Win the Storm convention, by the way.
It wasn't.
So we know what the outcome's going to be.
Yes.
And we got more out of it by hitting all the booths. But let me get into walking in through the front doors. When we walk through the front doors.
Well, so here's the deal. Our cards never showed up to the hotel.
No, never. Not even while we were there through the entire process.
No.
We never saw our cards.
No.
So we walked through the door of this convention.
Yes.
And they're not at the front.
They weren't. No, they were in a little bit.
We had to make our way
Yeah.
through the convention to get to them.
Yes.
But the second that I got to them,
yes,
you saw me sit down and you kept walking.
I did. I was like, yeah, okay.
But it was so intriguing to me what they have done because we were in the app world at that time.
Yeah.
And to see Charlie tap my phone, and he's like, stop. And he tapped my phone. And I'm like, wait. All right. Mind blown. Okay. I'm going to be here for an hour.
Yeah. And you were. And I was like,
there for an hour.
They need to talk to other people. Come on.
Yeah, but I've got to know how this shit works.
I know. And you did. And it was like legit. Like, it was like, had we not had that like catastrophic events and failures of like leaving our business cards, like where we wouldn't be here today. And so like, I'm grateful for that. But that's like the true honesty of like, you never have to forget your business card.
This is how we met.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally our first introduction into One Tap, into Charlie, into Chapman. Like,
well, and that's how we knew we had something. I actually spoke in 2018. I helped Anthony bring Win the Storm to Vegas because I had a contact at one of the properties, the hotel properties here in Vegas, and convinced him to bring it to a friend of mine's casino called the South Point. It was a very successful event, and I spoke from the main stage.
So I was at that event.
Okay, so I spoke on stage right after Gary Vaynerchuk, which was awesome, right? So
Gary V's, yeah.
Who the hell is Charlie Cina? But all I know is, right, they're going, who's Charlie Cina? But I spoke right after Gary, so I'm thinking to myself, damn, how am I going to go on after
Gary V? Yeah.
But I talk about the art of exposing and closing. I had just written a book, and I did my whole keynote about the art of the handshake, the art of the introduction, how to build rapport, gain credibility. And then Anthony called me and he goes, dude, guess who was number one at the conference as far as on our survey of who the speakers, of who they like best? I said, Gary V. He's like, yep. You're right. I go, man, he knocked it out of the park. He goes, guess who's number 2? And I forgot who I said for number 2. He goes, no, bro, you. I go, you gotta be shitting me. He goes, yeah. He goes, we want you to come back in 2019. So they ended up doing it at the South Point again. Lucky for me, because I didn't have to travel. I speak in 2019. There's COVID. And that is really when I started working with some people to take what would then be called One Tap to the next level. It wasn't even called One Tap. It was like we were, making up names and experimenting and whatever. But long story short, 2021 came, and
I like those little short stories though. Like and so does everybody else. Everybody likes the raw part of what your path was, what you had to go through to get to that.
Well, it was, I guess when you look back and now that you're telling me that, those are the stories that help any entrepreneur, right, break through the level of pain that's necessary, right, or roadblocks to go next level. So 2021 comes, and now we've got this new micro site, and I get a booth at Win the Storm, New Orleans, and don't quote me, I don't remember the exact number, but it was something ridiculous. Like in two and a half days, we got a couple hundred transactions, and that's when I was like, whoa, we got something here. And then that's when I decided to really take the bull by the horns, brand it as One Tap Connect, take it next level, and here we are. But fortunately for me too, I come from a home improvement construction background.
Right.
So 1999, a guy hired me as a consultant to come in and help him with his branding and his sales. One thing kind of led to the other. So I know what it is to go knock a door, run a lead, go in somebody's house and talk about floors, countertops, paint, bathroom remodel and everything in between. So in formulating this, I took all my experience and all my obstacles or getting close to presenting the proposal and then saying yes. And at the last minute, you're like, oh, I need to think about it. Right? Well, what do you do?
What are you thinking about?
Well, now, rather than saying, okay, here's my card, after you get done talking to Mr. Jones, call me. I say, no problem. Mrs. Jones, take as much time as you need. But before I let you go, can I give you full access to my microsite? Well, what's that? Well, do you have a phone? Boop. Now up pops your microsite and allows you to go back in. Right? What's it doing? It's helping the customer with their certainty, their confidence, and their trust, because now when I click on that link and that pops up, I get to tell you in 60 to 90 seconds, my short story again, show you my certification partnerships, right? Show you all my services, but more importantly, I can come down to the bottom.
Yeah, I'll add this in.
And show you a photo, right? It becomes a closing tool. Now, this guy's name's Mark Olson. He's in the fence business in Florida, but he goes and drops a proposal. Somebody says, I need to think about it. No problem. No pressure. Take as much time as you want. Can I give you all my full access to my microsite? Well, what's that? You tap the phone, and now you have them scroll down a little bit.
That one's on your screen.
Oh, that's on my screen? Can you see me?
Yes.
Can you see me scroll?
Yes.
Okay, so now you come down here, you have them add to contacts. So now you're putting all their information in their phone. Now you say, listen, before I leave, watch the video, right? Yep. Here's all of our services. Here's a little product demo. And most importantly, Mrs. Smith, here's some testimonials. Okay. Now I know you want the XYZ picket fence. Okay. We can do it raw so you can paint it yourself, or you can get it painted. Now, if money's a concern, how about if I sell you the raw fence and I'll give you a $500 credit to call XYZ Painting Company and you can bring them out and we'll stain it, paint it, or do whatever you want. How does that sound if we can get this done today? For example, right? So it allows you to go back in, build value, drop fee, maybe upgrade them to something and close the deal on the spot.
Yes.
And then when you leave, a lot of my clients will put their Google reviews here.
Yes, they will.
After they pay you, and they're in the highest state of enthusiasm that they're ever going to be as a client.
And then they have the ability to share that out.
Boom. Yep. Now you can get referrals on the spot. So at any rate,
by the way, this is stuck in their internet browser as well. So now that they have this pulled up on their phone, it's in their history, so they can go back and reference it if they think they lost it or closed it out. It's in their history of their internet browser on their phone, so they can go back and reference it at any point in time if they want to visit the microsite of this. But they're already, all of these contacts are automatically in your phone the second that you hit add to contacts and done.
Correct. All of your Facebook, your LinkedIn, everything that is on here is now in the V card, as it's called. And in this particular case, he's got a showroom. So if somebody calls him on the phone, he'll text this to them.
Yeah.
And then say, great, hit the map button. And now obviously Google Maps will pop up, and that individual is coming, right to your showroom, your office, etc. So again, everything that I've done here is by design, including the call to action buttons, right? Add to contacts is in orange. Guess why it's in orange?
It's a call to action.
Call to action, right? The connect button, right? You have all my information. I'd like to connect with you. Would that be okay? Great. Hit the connect button. Now, this is a mobile-based product, but when you hit that connect button, up pops a message from you that says, hey, nice to meet you, right? Click the link below. Let's exchange information. And now they just sent you their cell number, to which you then can procure their name, their company, their name, their address. He doesn't have it here, and that's by design, but I can put a book me button here to where then you're booking an appointment with them right on the spot. Where'd you meet them? At Starbucks. You're in line. Oh, you do fences? Tap their phone, exchange information. Now you just booked an appointment as you were waiting for your whatever, cafe latte or mocha at Starbucks. So again, I get high on my own supply, as they say, and I use my product every single day and convert.
Same.
So when I have a prospect say to me, oh, it's too expensive, I can use, Dot. I'm like, you don't get it. Dot's a digital card. We've made you a prospecting tool built around the sales process that's going to allow you to convert.
Yeah.
So when people say I can get Dot, and I don't even know what Dot costs. I'm just using them as an example.
I have no idea.
Whatever it is, $100 or $150 a year or whatever it is. I say, are you looking to convert and sell your $30,000 pools or $100,000 pools?
Plastic business card.
Right. So that's the.
There's huge difference between what OneTap is versus. And I'm not even going to put you in the same ball field as the other guys because you're not. This is a game changer for every single person, not just every single business, but every single person. So I have a question for you that I was going to save for off camera, but the more that I've thought about it,
Dude, you're going to put me on the spot right now?
Well, I have a lot of following that is tech and that uses the same databases, and so do I have these following that is also in the construction world that captures their info this way as well. So I want to ask this question because I think it's a viable question for everybody potentially listening. Is there a way to integrate high level into this?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure that goes on.
I don't know. Can you pull one of my OneTaps up that I sent you? private chat, or I can maybe just put it here in comments. Let's see. If you just put one of mine in there, and then we can pull that up.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Actually, I think it's right here. Let's. It's OneTapConnect / Charlie Cina. But the answer to your question is yes. So again, when I design this, I go to a lot of conferences. And again, this is before OneTap, right? I used to go to conferences. I have another business where I help companies create online training platforms for their sales teams. So it always bugged me when I went to a conference. People say, well, do you have a card? You'd hand them a card. They wouldn't give you their information, or you would scan their BS badge with, the bad phone number or whatever, or an email to their info at. That always bugged me. So again, OneTap I designed if you're working a conference. Somebody comes to your booth, or you're meeting somebody just networking, you tap their phone, and now you have them hit the form button. Do you see the form button at the upper top?
I clicked
the top of my OneTap.
Yeah, I think I clicked the wrong button. The form. Yes, I do see the form right here.
And I'll tell them, let's connect.
Got it.
Is it not popping up because I can't see your screen?
It should be on StreamYard. So it's not letting me add the additional screen. Hang on. Let me see.
There we go. Let's see.
Share screen. There it is.
Great. So that form, if I'm at a show, if I'm at a trade show, I'll have people fill out that form. Why? Because they came by the booth, I built rapport. And if I say, great, do I have permission to connect with you next week? And we'll talk about whatever, right? Buying XYZ tile or buying this adhesive or paint, whatever. They say yes. I say, great, hit the form button. Now they fill out that information. That will dump into my HubSpot. And then that HubSpot
collects all of the data.
And I just tag it for that show. So I'll say I'm at Win the Storm. So now when I get back, first of all, as soon as they fill that out and hit submit,
yes,
and I would invite you to fill it out and submit it, you'll get an email and say, hey, it was great meeting you. Would you like to schedule an appointment?
Right.
Now that's my backup, because as soon as they fill out that form and they go back to my OneTap interface,
they're already engaged. They've made a point of engagement.
Right. But right then and there on the spot, I'll say to them, great, I'll call you next week to set an appointment, Jason.
Right.
But rather than me call you next week to set the appointment,
you can do it yourself.
Nope. One better. You're here, I'm here. Why don't you just hit that book me button right there? Yep. And let's book the appointment right now. Why? Because I know when you get back and I get back from the show next week, all hell's going to break loose. You and I both know if we book it, let's just get the rubber meet the road and let's see if we can do business.
Absolutely.
And people appreciate that. And they want to take time out of the equation too. And then if they don't book the appointment, you can then decide whether they're prospect or suspect. Right? Which again, Jen made some comment about, I don't know if it was about wasting time or essentially, I forgot exactly what she said, but accusing activity with or confusing activity with accomplishment. Right? Sometimes you just go through the motions on stuff. Why? Let's take time out. If Jason is a prospect, we're at the show, we're sitting there talking to do business, he will book that appointment with you. And if for some reason he cancels, at least he's that much more obligated to reschedule with you than not, because he made a commitment and maybe it's a legit reason why he had to cancel. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So that's the beauty about the tool. And a lot of times when you're at a show and someone dismisses you, you now have the ability to go back in and say, sure, do you have a card? Boom, you tap their phone. They're not just going to take your card and walk away.
Yeah, I think it's just a phenomenal product. I keep saying it, and I'll continue to say it, and I'll continue to sell it to everybody that I'm in front of and I don't even really have to sell it; it sells itself.
Yeah.
So I don't even like to use that terminology. Every time that I use my one tap card, it converts. I I grab information, they have my information, and I'm done. And I wanted to throw that high level thing out there because a lot of people use high level to collect their data on and book calls on and even point people to their website for high level. So and it sounds like there is the availability to add high level to the card, that's built in.
Yep.
They're automatically booking with you. They're automatically setting that call up. They can see your calendar. They know the availability. You know what your availability is. You If you have high level and you're a business owner and you're at a conference or someplace, you more than likely have it on your phone. So you're getting that message instantaneously right then and there. So you're getting back to back messages. You're going to get the fill out form. You're going to get an email. Plus, high level is going to send you a notification on your phone telling you that, boom, that conversion just happened.
Yep.
And if you feel like it while you're standing in front of your customer, you turn your app around in any format and say, "Look, I got you right here. I got you on my calendar. We're done."
Yep. Yeah.
And you fully converted, you fully closed, and you're done until you need to make that appointment, and it's set.
Yeah, and what what we do with HubSpot is as soon as again you click that form, you get an email from us. So if I can't book that appointment from you, if I can't book that appointment with you on the spot,
right
now at least that email is coming behind. And if I've made a good enough impression on you, and again you're a prospect, you might book a call, give me a call, go to my website, make a purchase, whatever. So everything that we've done with OneTap has been very intentional. From again the colors of the buttons, how they're laid out. We had a client yesterday call and say, "I love your product, but I want a video to pop up as soon as I tap somebody's phone."
Okay.
And I'm training. Can you do that? And I trained one of our design team to say, yes, we can do that. But that's not an effective way to convert, right? I think now people watch YouTube videos.
They do.
For 6 seconds. Like it was 10, then I heard it was 9, then I heard it was now I heard it's like.
Short form, it's very short.
Yeah, 6-7 seconds, right? I said, so you have to let the client know that it's going to hurt their conversion rate because you're assuming that people want to watch your stuff.
Yeah, you can't assume that. You've got to roll into the fact of you're giving everything to them right now.
Correct. So it's just like with Facebook, right? Like when I talk to
go check out my Facebook page. It's even Google. Go leave me a review on Google. You're not going to do it unless it's right in front of you right now.
Correct. But it's like when I talk to my social media guy, I'll say, well, that deal came from a referral from Joe. But then he'll go back and show me the tags or the cookies. And again, I'm still learning this stuff, right? But he'll go, no, that guy watched the ad on this date. So the guy has seen it multiple times. So by the time Jason says to his buddy, you should buy one, he's already seen it. Well, that's really, in a sense, what OneTap's doing on another level.
Yeah.
Right? You want to go in and you want to build rapport and you want to gain credibility and you want to identify their problem. What's their problem or their objective? They want a new pool. Well, you're the master builder of pools in Austin, Texas. But talk is what? Cheap, right? Talk is cheap. Well, now here's my truth, authenticity, and proof. So now after I've taken you through my little journey, you'll click that button and watch that video. Now you might hit the call button and call me, text me, email me, or book an appointment with me. So again, everything has been done by intention to convert, right? And here's the real key. Here's what I want to share with all your audience.
It's your audience too, my friend.
Well, thank you for that. You're awesome. And I mean that. because here's the reality: we really don't know each other.
No, we don't.
Right? But there's a level of
but
trust.
I know you through what you've done, and I know you through the times that I've met you. I don't know you on a personal level at all, by any means. And I'll say that right here, right now. We have never hung out. We've never gone to eat. We've not met for long periods of time, other than at trade shows.
But you thought enough of me to expose me to your audience.
Hell yeah, I did.
So why?
I believe in your product.
And that's what I would also want to share. I believe
in your product. I believe in you.
And I'm not saying this to be corny or, it's not a sales pitch. That's what the product will do for you as a one-tap client. That's what it's going to do for the roofing company. That's what it does do for my clients. It's not One-Tap Connect. It's the Eldridge Roofing micro app.
Right.
It's the, I was going to show you this later, but I made you something special. It's the Construction Solutions Group.
That's cool.
You didn't ask me for this, right?
I didn't.
Huh?
That's cool though.
But do you understand? It's your micro app, and it brands and positions you. Now, here's my point. A digital card is no different than a paper card. It's just digital. It's an exchange of information. And as soon as you hit add to contacts, it goes into somebody's phone.
Yes.
Now they need to remember who you are, where you're at, what your name, what's the name of your company. Because of all my call to actions and what we do, you're going to be top of mind. Right? Here's the difference. A business card is informational. One-Tap Connect shows transformation, right? I tap your phone, you become a transformational entity to solve their problem. Again, if you're a pool guy, I can transform your backyard from a piece of grass or an area of grass to this beautiful landscape with a pool, right? If you're a coach, I can transform you from limited mindset or you can't sell a thing to how to generate more leads. Yes. And activate and achieve sales success. So that's the big difference, right? We're not a transfer of information. We're not informational. We give you a tool and the training to have your salespeople transform and learn the art of presentation so they don't have to sell. They simply have to present. And the sale starts at hello, immediate impact and influence, and it kind of, for lack of a term,
trust factor. I mean, it happens instantaneously, if I can get that word out. It happens at the tap. It's done. You literally you've solved so many things. You have solved. I want you have to take the credit. Like, you need to feel great about it. And I hope that you wake up every morning feeling great about what you do every day.
Well, I do. I have
so many
never been in a business where I get more satisfaction.
You affect so many people's lives in such a positive manner, and I'm grateful for how humble you still are, in the fact that you've done this and you're still humble.
Well,
because a lot of people that are in the industries that go and they have an aha moment and they've slingshotted into the future of dollar signs or whatever, instantly their ego goes out of control and they're no longer a humble person.
Yeah, well,
so that is another reason why I resonate with you, and I still enjoy watching your content. I still enjoy talking to you. I wanted to set up this podcast with you because I wanted the engagement with you one-on-one, because you're still a very humble person, even beyond the fact you still wake up every morning excited about what you're doing. And a lot of people will, in business, shove this off to someone else and let somebody else take care. This is your baby, and you continue to treat it like your baby.
No, it is my baby. You can't do it alone.
You have an amazing team, like I said earlier.
Well, when I decided to do this, I called the guy out of the blue. Right, I started calling all kinds of people, and I said, "Hey, here's what I want to do. Can you code it? Can you design it? Can you program it?" And this is God. So I call this guy. He answers. He's got a French accent.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, "Hey, this is, I want to do this." And he's like, "Okay, no problem, whatever." And I hung up with my wife and I said, "This is just weird." I go, the guy, I asked him what he did before he did this, and he told me he was a Cirque du Soleil performer, turned coder, web designer, and everything in between, right? So I meet the guy for a cup of coffee, and I said, "Listen, here's what I want to do. I want it based around my sales process. And I don't want your opinion." I said, "Don't think I'm being curt. I just want you to do for me what I need. And once you understand the psychology of what I'm looking to do, if you can make it better, I'm all for it."
Yes.
And he said to me with his French accent, "Sure, no problem." So we go down this journey to where now we coin it One Tap Connect. And I said, "I'm probably, you're probably going to need to make like maybe 20 a month. I'm just going to give this to my clients as a value add if they hire me to consult or they want me to do their online training platforms for them or whatever." He goes, "Okay, no problem." So we start doing, 20, and then it's 25, and then it's 30, and then it's 50. And then we went to a couple conferences, and one day my accountant calls me and he goes, "Did you see what you have in your bank account?" Yeah, it wasn't huge money, right? But he's like, I just told him I was starting this little side hustle. He goes, "Dude, like I just did your books." He goes, "Do you realize like you did 55 grand last month off your kitchen table?" And I'm like, "Really?" Well, then next month we did a little more, and then there was some consistency. So I called him to my house. His name's Ghislaine. And I call him to my house, and I call him G because I always crucify his name 2.5 years later. But I said, "This deal has legs." I go, "We're going to have to put the pedal to the metal for the next 2 or 3 years." I go, "It's going to be a commitment." I go, "But I'd like you to be my partner." And he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like, really, I can't do it by myself. And quite honestly, I'm not going to do it without you," because he was just a guy that every time I needed something. Now, mind you, he's billing me. Half the time he's not billing me for stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm telling my wife, like, this guy's unbelievable. Like he just saw the vision. So I want you to meet my partner. This is G. He implements what I need done and our culture for customer service. And I'm a big customer service guy because I come out of the hospitality industry. I came here to Vegas for hotel restaurant management. So I'm that guy. You walk into my house, it doesn't matter what my house is, construction, restaurant, hotel, right? You're my guest. That's the mentality. And every time I needed something, he'd say to me, "No problem." No problem. And that's why you get the customer service from us that you get. That's why we have the Chapman, because even when whether it's our customers or our people that have a problem or they need something, our attitude's just
no problem. We got you covered.
So this is my right-hand man. I couldn't
Nice to meet you virtually. Hopefully I see, will you be at Profit Rocket?
Yes, he will be at Profit Rocket.
Okay, well, I look forward to meeting you at Profit Rocket. And you'll see me circling the room, also pointing people in your direction.
Yes.
Because this is what I do at conventions.
Yes.
I literally I'll be there selling.
Yes.
Pointing people, everybody in One Tap.
Yeah.
Because I'm a firm believer in this product. Like,
and that's the crazy thing, and he'll attest to it. Like we did the International Builder Show. It just happened to be here in Vegas. So we had a lot of our clients. I just wanted you to meet everybody. You can stay as long as you like.
Gee, this is Jen, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
This is his partner.
Yes. Yeah. I remember talking to him at the I think it was the
At the
Florida.
Dallas?
No, in Florida. It was Florida. Yeah.
Were you in Dallas at the Dallas Builder Show?
Yeah, we were there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're there, and no joke, we'll have clients come to the booth, and we'll be in the middle of a presentation. They take over. Like literally, I have it on camera. We walk away and our clients take over the presentation and then call us back and go, this guy wants a package for 12 people, or this guy wants to set up a call. He needs 100.
I've seen you walk away so many times and just go, you'll get about maybe 10 yards away and then turn around and watch. I've seen this happen. I can attest to this. And it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's one of the few businesses that I've been in where literally, the clients don't like our product, they love our product.
Yes.
And if they do refer it, like not only are they happy to refer it, and if they are affiliates and they're they're making some money from being an affiliate, they're like, that's great, but it's really the love of the product. And that's what honestly keeps us going, Gus, to sit here and tell you, no matter what the business is, right? There's always options. I need to hire more salespeople now.
Yeah.
Well, again, I've trained salespeople all my life. I know how to train salespeople. I know how to write scripts, but it's still a process and it's still an undertaking while you're doing everything else. And it's the love of the product and our clients that give us the love back, saying you guys did such a great job, that really keeps us going. It really is a labor of love. The money is truly secondary at this point. We love doing what we do.
It's true. It's very, very true. That's like, you can't put that any other way. Like, that is 100% dialed in truth. That's like, you can't make up like people talking about your business. You can't pay people to talk about your business. Like, the enthusiasm is genuine, and that's what keeps the momentum wheel going.
I agree.
And yeah, so I'm looking forward to going to Austin. We've got another conference that we're going to in
the beginning of September.
Where's that one?
It's in
Sacramento,
close to Sacramento.
California. Yeah.
What conference is that? What conference are you going to?
This is, so I'm actually speaking on stage.
HVAC Masters of Hustle.
Yes, you got it right. Yeah.
Let me know which
it's in
Vacaville, yeah.
Vacker.
Yeah, with the V. Vacaville, California. I'll send you the information. Jason Walker is hosting the event. There's a bunch of different speakers talking about sales and business and things like that. I'm sure
he's also got the podcast.
That's nothing I'd be interested in, sales or business.
I know, right? Yeah, totally not up your alley.
I don't know if it's a big enough crowd for you.
I know. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah. But no, it's going to be a really great event. So I got invited to go out and do motivational speaking there. And then we got tickets to go to the Profit Rocket in Austin.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll be seeing you a lot in the next month.
Yeah. So I'll hook you up with Jason Walker so you guys can talk.
Yeah. He popped in real quick to view. Was watching for a minute. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. When you're on that stage, and I think we talked about it, you need to make a slide with your QR code.
Yep.
And then you can even give people a free gift where you can link into maybe a white paper or whatever, or an ebook, or maybe something that you have that would help that audience, where literally right through your one tap, a QR code, either on their phone, they connect with you, and then you can give them some type of value in as a gift.
Yeah.
That has to do with your presentation or what you're speaking to.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. And that was actually one of the things that prompted me to get the rebrand for the Jennifer Clements, is because I was like, I need the QR code for my slide that's behind me while I'm on stage.
Yep.
So I like the idea of like the ebook. I wasn't even thinking in that direction. So I very much like that.
Yeah, and it's almost complete.
Yeah.
So.
I'm actually headed on Sunday to Dallas to speak to a group of financial advisors on client acquisition.
Nice.
And I got there because I was at the Win the Storm office in Phoenix, taking care of some business, and I'm walking down the hall to go use the restroom, and walking the opposite direction are two guys in suits. So we make eye contact. I stick out my hand. Hi, my name's Charlie. What's your name? He goes, my name's Paul. I said, nice to meet you. And the other guy was on the phone, so I didn't have the opportunity to immediately, meet him. But Paul and I start talking. I said, he said, what do you do? I said, well, I have a couple different businesses. I said, but I helped Anthony create his online training program called SVG University. I said, and I also have his sales team on a product called One Tap Connect that I've created. He goes, oh, do you have a card? So I tap his phone, and he goes, oh my God, I want this. I said, well, what do you do? He goes, I'm the national training director for Westlake Royal Building Products. Have you ever heard of Westlake Royal Building Products?
No.
Well, I didn't either. He looks at me and he goes, well, we're a $15 billion conglomerate of building products, roofing, adhesives, siding, etc. So of course I felt a little bit stupid. I'm like, man, I'm sorry. I've never heard of your company. He goes, no problem. Now the other guy hangs up. He goes, Bill, you got to take a look at this. I tap Bill's phone. Introduce myself. I go, Bill, what do you do? He goes, I'm vice president of sales of Westlake Royal Building Products. They look at me and they go, we want 3 of these right now. I chuckled. I said, okay. For him, the marketing, for Paul, Bill, and the marketing director. That turned into 300.
Wow.
Why am I telling your audience this? I was walking down the hall at my client's office.
Yes. Yeah.
To go and handle my business, right?
Yeah.
Meet people, stick out, shake a hand, tap their phone. Now, fast forward, Paul calls me and says, this is maybe a month after I give him, he goes, I see that you wrote a book and I see that you do consulting. He goes, I'm speaking at an event in Atlanta. He goes, if I got you a ticket to the event and, would you come down and help me with my PowerPoint presentation and teach me how to present and work on my slides and et cetera, and teach me how to leverage One Tap? I go, sure, Paul, it would be my pleasure. I fly down to Atlanta. Now, obviously, he's well known in the space, so I'm helping him, but in turn, he's reciprocating, introducing me to all these people at the show. So now I help Paul from the stage. He does this whole thing. There's maybe a small audience, 100 people in the audience. He puts his QR code up. 95 people click and exchange information with him. He comes back to me. He's like, dude, you're a freaking genius. I said, Paul, you spoke, dude. I said, you engaged them. I just gave you the tool now to build those relationships.
That's awesome.
Long story short, I acquired several clients from that event. He calls me back and he said, I talked to Bill. We want you to help us create an event, a tour where we go to all our distributors and we teach them about client acquisition and marketing and sales. And he goes, between you and I, we can create, I think, something exceptional. Yeah. He said, we need a name. I said, give me a couple days. So I gave him the name, the Magnetic Contractor Tour.
There you go.
Right? Learn the mindset, missions, and move to properly be the boss, to brand, operate, right? And sell and put together a system within your company to scale with Westlake Royal Building Products.
Yes.
So now we go on and they hire me to do that tour. And now I'm going to go speak to a group of financial advisors because Paul knew a guy who knew a guy that told him about me and said, if you want to, I don't care if they're financial advisors or selling, roofing or whatever, you need to bring this guy in to speak. Why am I telling everybody this? Because a guy was walking down a hallway. I stuck out my hand. I said, hello. He said, do you have a card?
Yes.
And I presented myself in a way that was unforgettable at the first point of contact, where he saw all my truth, authenticity, and proof, immediately said, I want what you have. We built a relationship, and I can't even quantify in dollars what that relationship has brought me, but more importantly than the dollars, this guy is now one of my dearest friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of my mentors one of my mentors is trying to drill into my head. He's like, your network is your net worth.
Net worth. Yep. Absolutely.
And I'm like, and I, you know, and I'm still fairly new into this larger territory market, rubbing elbows with some of these
Your community is growing fast.
It is growing very quickly, yes. But I'm over here in the corner, like, what does that mean? Like, you know, I'm still trying to grasp the concept of this, but I'm getting it more and more every day. It's like, yeah, your network is your net worth.
It is.
So it's like,
so you put yourself around.
Exactly. So, and this One Tap Connect is just the way to just truly step up and step out and show that you're ready to do any type of business at any point in time.
Well, and that's the key, right? People don't understand that there's organic opportunities in front of them every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we'll go to a conference, and this is something, you know, I've got great people on my team, but it's still something I have to drill into them, right? Constant repetition. You don't have to be in front of your booth at a conference to sell your product.
No, you don't.
Right? You don't have to be anywhere. Like, it should be your intention if you're a business owner, solopreneur, sales professional, whatever. If you've got a product or service to take to market, I say it should be your intention to get attention. And then once you get somebody's attention, you want them to pay attention.
Yes.
And then once you get them to pay attention, eventually they'll pay you for your attention. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
It does.
So you're walking by my booth. I'm stopping you. Whatever I got to do.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Hi, my name is, what's your name? The introduction. My name's Jason.
Yep.
My name's Jen. Nice to meet you, Jen.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? I'm building rapport. I'm gaining credibility.
Yeah.
Right? What brings you to the conference? Oh, I forgot my business cards.
Right.
Oh, I'm looking to teach my people. I brought all my people. My people aren't converting, or they're not knocking enough whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Identify the problem, provide the solution, and then it's the truth, authenticity, and proof that you could do. But where does it start? Attention. So you don't have to be at a show, right? I closed to date a deal that could turn into $1 million deal over the next 2 to 3 years. Why? Because now I'm doing business with a $15 billion company that has a network of distributors that all need my product. Right? Essentially, that one relationship could put One Tap Connect on the map and drive more revenue to us than me doing Facebook ads and going to shows. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? They have a network. And just what you're doing for me, right? I mean, I don't know how many impressions do you get from this podcast?
Quite a bit. So I was trying to study the analytics a minute ago, because that's not data, right?
But what I'm saying is it's more than
between 15 and 35,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't mean this, it's sarcasm. It's definitely more than one.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands.
Yep.
And how did I get here? Because I stopped, I said hello, started a conversation. And that's one thing I'd like to transfer to your audience. There's organic opportunities. So I meet people on planes, in dry cleaners. I was at a roofing conference called RoofCon last November in Orlando.
Yeah.
Never walked away from my booth. G came to me. He goes, brother, I'm starving. Right. And G's in great shape. I always tell him all the time, dude, you can't afford to miss a meal. I'll miss one. You can't afford to miss one.
Right.
So it's like our second or third day into the show. He goes, come on, let's go grab lunch. I leave my booth and him to go and grab lunch, which is very rare for us. I said, let me use the restroom. I'm in the restroom, washing my hands. I make eye contact, as I'm washing my hands. Hey, man, how you doing? The guy goes, what's your name? Whatever. I tap his phone on the way out of the bathroom. He goes, where the hell did you get this? Now, I didn't tap his phone with my One Tap Connect that promotes One Tap. I tapped it with my consulting card. Do you have my consulting card, my Charlie Cina consulting?
No.
Okay, I thought I sent it to you. At any rate, doesn't say anything about One Tap. It just talks about Charlie Cina, sales trainer, consultant, speaker.
Right.
He goes, where the hell did you get this? I said, well, I know the owner.
Now you know the owner.
He goes, really? Could you introduce me to him? I said, you're looking at him. He laughed. I said, what's your name? I go, Vincent, what do you do? He goes, I own a solar company. It's not that one. It's my other one. But at any rate,
yeah,
that has nothing to do with One Tap. So it's completely nothing to do with One Tap. It's my brand, my personal branded card, like what we were doing for you, Jen.
Yeah.
I said, what do you do, Vincent? He said, I own a solar company. He goes, I have 100 solar reps. He said, 50 of them
yeah, there you go. That's it.
are worth getting this for right now. He goes, I want 50. I'm not exaggerating. He walked to my booth and spent $12,000 or $13,000 with me in literally less than 15 minutes.
Wow.
I met him walking out of the bathroom at the conference. Now, here's the deal. If I was selling apple pies and I tapped his phone and he saw that interface, he's a businessman. There you go. There it is. That's what I tapped his phone with. Does that talk about One Tap Connect?
Nope.
So this could have said Joe's Plumbing, Rick's HVAC, XYZ Roofing, right? He saw that. What'd it do? It elevated me as an expert. Where'd you get this? Why? He wants it for him.
Absolutely.
Right? But if I was selling apple pies, as long as I tell him where to get that, I got his attention to say, we sell apple pies nationwide, right? No gluten, no this, no that, all natural flour. We only use apples from George Washington's apple orchard. We cut them by whatever.
Sure.
Let me ask you a question, Vincent. Do you send gifts to your customers after you install their solar? Well, yeah. Have you ever thought of making them a homemade apple pie? No.
Well, no.
Well, how about how many transactions do you do a month? 75. Dude, what if we put you on an auto ship where we just ship these right to your 75? How much are the apple pies? $45 a pop, and they come in a box, and we'll put your name on it. Whatever. Let's round it to 100. He needs 100 a month. That's $45 times 100. That's $4,500 a month times 12. You do the math. You just picked up a $60,000 a year customer that was walking out of a bathroom, that owned a solar company, that needed to send his solar clients a gift after he did an install. And he's happy to spend $45 because they just spent $45,000.
Exactly.
So anyway, I don't mean to get crazy or passionate, but that's what the tool does for you, man. Like I tell people all the time, and then people go, dude, you're weird. You close deals in bathrooms? You're damn right I do.
I mean, we close them everywhere.
5-star restaurants.
If you're not willing to close a deal anywhere,
you're not a closer. You're not a closer.
I just don't know what you're doing in life. Like, and there are people that don't do this, but I don't surround myself with those types of people. I just don't. I can't be around them. I can be around them. I just don't choose to, I guess. I don't know. I like to be around the same like-minded type of personalities that I am. And that's me to a T. I love chaos. It's got to be structured chaos, but I love chaos, which is why I have my hands in so many different things. But I love people as well. So I genuinely like to have conversation about what it is somebody else is passionate about. And I like to see them get fired up and excited about their passion. And if they get fired up and excited about their passion, they're going to get fired up and excited about yours.
No question.
So if they're that type of mindset, those are the type of people that I like to put myself around.
Yep, and that's the real deal, right? That's what everything really boils down to, is the mindset. You
Yes.
have to have a mindset, a forward progression of wanting to meet people, wanting to network, wanting to shout from the rooftops who you are and what you do, and ultimately how you can serve people. And some people will tell me, well, all you do is talk about business. Well, dude, all you do is talk about football. You're rooting.
You can sit here and talk about sports all day, but what are you converting there?
Right. So as an entrepreneur, right, I'm on the field every day. I'm essentially going to war every day. If you're an entrepreneur listening to this, you're going to war every day. Who are you going to war with? Everybody else that's out there that's trying to get your market share, your client. And if you don't have the mindset and you don't have the competitive edge, right, or the tenacity and the credibility, and you're not getting the engagement that you need, you're going to get swallowed up. So, that's my strength and that's my weakness, because my wife will look at me and she'll go, can you shut off now? Like, we're going to the neighbor's house. We're going to the neighbor's house for dinner, right? And it's very difficult.
And I'm still going to talk.
For me to shut off. Well, because, listen, I know there's a lot of people that love sports, and I get it. It's a way to decompress, chill out, right? But for me, I want to wear my name on the back of my jersey, not somebody else's.
Right.
And, that's my team. I want that.
I love sports as well, but I also love to represent my brands. I don't have time to watch sports. I don't have, but I do enjoy sports, and I do enjoy, like, our kids are in sports. They're all in at least 2 sports a piece. So we have a busy schedule just in that alone. And we have 5 kids times 2 sports each. Like, we're running constantly. So we do school pickup, which I'm going to have to jump off of here for that. But we do school pickup, and as soon as we get kids picked up, they come home, they eat, and then we're right back out the door. And then we're not back here until 10 o'clock at night sometimes, because we're running 2 kids across town to go do these 2 things, and then 2 more over here. And then we have an infant. He's 7 months old. So
God bless.
It's go, 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 go. And we do this all day, and then we do that all afternoon, and then we're eating somewhere in between. And the weekends are exactly the same. There's no difference other than the kids don't have school, and that gives us the ability to have more time with them.
Right.
So we're still doing our jobs even on the weekend, because to us it's not a job. This is our passion. This is what we do.
No question. And that's I guess what I'm trying to impress upon everybody. You should be rooting for yourself first, right? Yeah. You're on your own field, entrepreneur, you're probably the coach, the quarterback, the water boy, and everybody in between. So shout from the rooftops, man, who you are, what you do, be proud of it. Take advantage of those organic opportunities. And, the people that are right in front of you either want your product or service, or can introduce you to somebody that wants your products and services. And that's really what it's all about, right? It's not about becoming a closer. It's about becoming closer to your clients, to your prospects, and to the community that could really use your products or services, and you can make a difference for them.
Absolutely. Well, Charlie, let's close this thing up. I'm gonna go pick up some kids. I'm gonna reach back out to you directly, whether this afternoon or possibly tomorrow, if you're available tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody in your community wants what we have. As I told you, I put together that offer for your
Yes.
community, where I put together a whole prospecting. It's not just the card. I put together a whole prospecting system. So I literally took my online training, every accessory that we have, a copy of my ebook, white papers, like literally everything that we have, I put together in that package for your community, because I truly appreciate you, exposing me and introducing me to your community. This was happened last week. It was very unexpected when Chapman told me, so I do appreciate the relationship and
absolutely
introducing me to everybody.
So I'm dropping right now for everybody the Facebook link to what Charlie just explained. It's there for everybody to go to. Also, I will, on my new card, have an affiliate link. So I'm going to learn how to also try to put this on my actual website and have my web developers add this into all of our platforms as well. So our team will work on the integration of that side of things, so we can help One Tap grow as well, because we are literally all about watching everybody else grow around us.
And can you click on that for 1 second before we sign off?
What's that?
Can you click on that link before we sign off?
Sure. I don't know that. So I'll put it up there. Let me go into the private chat here. And it did pull up. So I'll share it real quick. Hang on. Where is it? Screen share.
What are we doing? Oh, look at that. Oh.
Yeah, so to be clear, this is not available online, right? This is, if you go on my website, this doesn't really exist. So what we're doing here is really taking it next level. So I'm going to give you all my online training. I'm going to give you every accessory that I have, which is the wristband, the smart sticker, the key tag, and then everyone will get an executive package. Jen, I know you said, I can't see my own screen here. Can you see the bumper? Where's the bumper? There it is. Can you see that?
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
nice.
this is for the bumper, and then when people buy a package,
that's pretty cool.
It is cool.
We'll private label the card for you as well.
Yeah.
I did see that earlier. That's nice.
And the gentleman there that was standing on the roof.
But yours is the same way. So I don't like that.
Yeah. Hang on. There you go. Say that one more time.
The gentleman there that is on that page is the gentleman I was telling you about, Brian Arnold, who talks about how he used that at a property management event that resulted in a $950,000 job.
Whew.
So at any rate, thank you for...
it's just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when he called me and told me that, I'm like, dude, are you pulling my leg? He goes, no, bro, I'm serious. And then he just placed an order. Believe it or not, for 2,200 tap cards.
What? 2,200?
I said, dude, that's. I go, that's gonna, I said, I'll make you a deal on 2,200 of them. Yeah. He goes, no, I want all of my clients to literally be able to tap everybody's phone. So he's almost using it now as an advertising specialty product. So instead of giving out a pen, with your name on it, he's giving his one taps. So now people, oh no, you got to meet this guy, and it's almost like they're showing somebody a magic trick, right? Because when you tap somebody's phone and you see their reaction, I'm like, wow. I go, I'm going to tell that story too, brother. I go, that's huge. So yeah, he ordered, I think, 250 or 700. I don't remember the amount per person, but at the end of the day, it was like 2,250 of them that he ordered. So
I'm seeing all of the amazing value that you're getting. What is the cost?
So this is a special deal that, like you said,
yeah,
is not up.
I know it's not up.
Yeah, that's
so this is a Facebook link for what he created for us to share out to our people only.
Our people only. All right, you got it.
Which are also his people.
Yeah. So our people.
Yes.
Yes. I love it.
That there is for a package, a small team package of 6. But when you go to check out, if you need more or you need less, you can purchase whatever is comfortable for you. But if you have a team, like I have a lot of business owners that'll come to me and say, well, I want to try it for me first. And I tell them straight up, the tool's not really, if you're a business owner with a sales team.
Not for just you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not for you, because chances are when you go out there, you're not knocking the door, right? You're not running that lead. This needs to get to your sales team to give your sales team the edge. And then we, with what I included here, are going to do all the onboarding and training for the business owner so they don't have to. So what happens is, as you've experienced, a business owner says go, we'll send him or whoever on his team is going to get us the information to tell that company's story. That business owner gives us a thumbs up. Then when we send out the packages are all numbered, Jason, as you know.
Yep.
All they have to do is remember that they handled number 24 to Jason, number 25 to Jen, number 26 to Joe. And when Jen taps her phone, it'll say awaiting information. Jen puts in her information, sends it to us. We digitally make it on our side, text it back to Jen. Next time she taps her phone, she's live.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's nothing that really the business owner has to do other than give us the initial information to tell their story. But this is a whole team deal to where everyone's saying the same thing with the same consistency. They're showing the same videos to the customers, and you're creating, again, that impact and influence at the first point of contact. So what we're doing for teams, it really boils down to almost like you're buying 3 and you're getting 3 for free. And then with all the accessories and the training and everything, we're really putting together a prospecting system, not just a tool, but a system that can be implemented where you're going to get engagement and get it, I guess, inducted, for lack of a term, into your culture, so people are using it and getting the end result. Yeah.
And this is phenomenal. The card speaks for itself. Like it works. It does what it's set to do. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to our conversation afterwards on teaming up and being able to, because there's a lot of components to this card, I think, that scare people, and the fact that they're like, I don't have a YouTube video about myself. Well, that's what I do.
Yeah. So
I mean, I help people create content. So I can
content creators.
Yeah.
You can see this is our.
And let me speak to that, because I have a lot of people that'll say, well, I'm not ready yet. I don't have a video.
Yeah.
Okay. You should have a professional, video done.
Yes.
Right now you have nothing.
Yes.
Right.
Something is better than nothing.
Yes.
Right. So the beauty about One Tap is, let's get the boat in the water. Give us what you have. Give us your Facebook. Give us your LinkedIn. Give us any photos that you have. Right. Even if the video is what you would consider to be a cheesy video until you got one done correctly.
Yeah.
You can take stuff out and put stuff in, and that's the beauty of it, right? You send it to us, we got you, we take care of everything for you, and you can build on your microsite as you see fit. So that's the beauty. And again, we can take somebody that quits, we take that person out, we send a new person a link, they fill out their information, send it to us, and we got you turned around quickly, and you don't have to print cards or have downtime, and there's no additional cost to you.
Well, yeah. And then also too, think about the waste when you fire somebody, because you don't want to keep those cards.
Right.
Think about like the waste that you're saving yourself by going digital format. Like it just makes sense business wise.
And then when the person reaches out to that other person's email or it reaches out to their cell number, it doesn't go. But if they were out there putting everyone's information or putting their information in somebody's phone, now when that person changes, it doesn't matter. When that customer or prospect hits that person's information, the updated phone number or the updated email or the updated picture and name of that person will just automatically populate. So that's really cool.
That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal.
Yep.
And this works both Android and Apple, right?
Yes.
Android and Apple, absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I am looking forward to further meetings with you. I've reached out to Jason Walker to make that connection for you. And hopefully we can make something happen there for you. But
I think so.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
And he lives close enough to that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does,
area,
doesn't he? Yeah. Because he's what, in Nevada?
Yeah,
Vegas.
So he's fairly close.
That's like conference hub. Like everybody does their conferences.
By the way, I like Southside for events.
You either go to, here's the deal. You're either going to Florida for your conference or you're going to Vegas for your conference. Yeah.
You got that right. I think I would say Vegas, Orlando, Nashville certainly catching up.
Yes.
And I'd say Dallas. I spent a lot of time in those 4 cities over the course of a year. Honestly.
Well, thank you so much for coming
Charlie.
on today. I appreciate it. And guys, this is going to live on the internets forever. That's how this works. So
it is, and we'll have Charlie back on.
Absolutely. So until next time, Charlie, hang tight for us while we wait for your audio to load so that everything syncs together. But farewell to everyone in the digital world.
Yes.
Take care, everybody.